What's going on, guys? It's Unknown Player here, and in this video we'll be talking about the possibility of Bungie remaking the old raids and bringing them up to the current light level and making them brand new endgame activities. So the spring content has been described as a large update to our world and sandbox, and remaking the old raids has been something that's been talked about by a long time for a lot of people. A lot of people really want to see this happen, and there are also people who don't want to see this happen and think it's not really a good idea. So I'm going to talk about both reasons in this video, whether I think they will, the pros and cons, and what would actually happen if they did. So of course, be sure to comment down below with your thoughts. Do you want to see the old raids like the Vault of Glass and Crotas End and even Prison of Elders remade and brought up to the current light level? Leave your thoughts down below. I'd be interested to see if you guys want that or not, and also how you think that would happen, what the activities would be, whether they're different, and also what rewards would make players want to do the content. So if you think about it from Bungie's perspective, a lot of people have been asking this for a very long time. If you ask anyone what their favourite raid is, they'll probably say Vault of Glass, and right now there's no reason to play the old raids other than pure nostalgia. I mean, you can get like Ascendant materials and Radiant materials, which you can trade for Glimmer, but other than that, there's literally no incentive to play the old raids, which is the main problem. Another thing is that people who started playing Destiny in Year 2 have never played the Vault of Glass or Crotas End. There are a lot of people who've never even played those raids, which is a crazy thing to think about. And Bungie probably sees that as a bit of a waste of one of the best activities in the game. I mean, the Vault of Glass is an amazing place. And the fact that they have these really complex raids that were designed for months, they can't be played. It seems like a bit of a wasted activity. Obviously, Bungie are very proud of those old raids. They want everyone to know about them, they want to show them off, and everyone to experience them. And if you've never played them, then it's almost like you're missing out on a major part of Destiny. And I feel like you've missed out on a massive part of the story and just the progression of the game if you've never played the Vault of Glass. It's a huge part of the game, so you can imagine a part of Bungie is probably a little bit disappointed. There are all these new Year 2 players who have never even experienced the Vault of Glass and might never do it if they don't remake it and bring up to a current light level. They've literally got no incentive to go back and play those old raids. I'm sure there's even some of you guys watching this video who have never even played the Vault of Glass because you started playing during the Taken King, and I can't really blame you because there is no incentive to go back and play this Year 1 content and just get Year 1 rewards. It's going to do nothing for you. So I'm sure in that aspect that is definitely a big reason for Bungie to want to actually remake the old content. And on top of that, it wouldn't just be for the new players who have never played it before, it would also be good for the players like me who have played it literally 100 times. It would still be good because it add variety, because as it stands right now, if you look at Destiny, there's pretty much one raid to play right now. If you go on, and if you want to do a raid, you basically have one choice, the King's Fall. This is the most recent one. So it would be good to have all three raids actually push the highest light level into an add variety. Do you want to do the Vault of Glass, which is very slow and methodical? Do you want to do Crotas End, which is very quick and very like aggressive? Or do you want to do the King's Fall, which is kind of a mix of the two? It would just be good variety to have three raids to choose from, and you don't have to do the King's Fall every single time. It would be good for general variety and also good for those new players who have never played them before. Now, once you get past that is the question of loot rewards, which I think is the most important thing when thinking about this, because the reason you do any activity is for the end game gear and the actual loot drops, so it needs to be done right. And because it doesn't really matter if you bump all the enemies up to level 40, it still needs to be a worthwhile reward for you to actually do this content. So I'm sure you probably noticed by now in the Taken King they got rid of the elemental primaries completely. You used to be able to get them on most legendary weapons with elements of damage, but they got rid of them, and the elements were part of the main reason why raid weapons were so powerful. It was weapons like Fatebringer and Vision of Confluence, which were absolutely incredible weapons, and obviously if they brought those back, they would be head and shoulders above the other weapons in the game. It would be kind of unfair and no one would use anything else other than these. It would be just like Year 1 all over again, and they could take the burns off those primary weapons and make them kinetic. I think that would be a decent reward to offer in the raid. If there was a Fatebringer with just kinetic damage but still had Outlaw and Firefly, everyone would still want that weapon. That would still be a good reward. But I think it's more likely they would take the perks out completely and give us the same skins of the weapons we know and love, but with different perks that might be equally good, but in different aspects and do different things than the ones we know before. Black Hammer is another example of this, because that would need different perks or would need to be nerfed in some way. That's basically the exact same thing as Black Spindle, but as legendaries. There'd be no reason to use Black Spindle, so that's a weapon that would need to be changed drastically. I think what would work is if they gave us the entire loot table, but just with new perks, and it would be like a new raid again with new stuff to explore. Be good to find out what weapon is good and what weapon isn't good, but I think that would be the way they would do it if they were to bring back these old raids. Now, with all that said, there is one big glaring issue with the entire concept, and that is the story element. It wouldn't make any sense for us to go back and be fighting Atheon or Crota, and maybe they'd come up with some sort of like time travel explanation for Atheon, but especially Crota, it would make zero sense for us to go back and kill him like he's a threat, because we've already killed him, we've killed his dad, we've killed his whole family pretty much. I think Bungie would have a difficult time trying to explain to us why we need to go kill Crota again and why he's now level 40. I could see something happening with Atheon and the Vault of Glass, however, because they could say there's like an alternate timeline where Atheon is still a threat, and it could be an alternate timeline where we didn't kill him straight away and he grew more powerful, and that explains why he's level 40 and why he might drop different things. So that is possible, but again, still don't see it being that likely. Now, something I do see as very possible is the Prison of Elders. That's something you could pretty much remake very easily. There's absolutely no problem there in terms of story. You could just spawn us in a different part of the prison with redesigned rooms and maybe a taken room as well, and they could throw level 40 enemies at us, because from a story standpoint, it makes complete sense. Varrox could just grab some more powerful enemies from the prison who have just been there for a while and maybe get them to face us, and Bungie can literally just make up whatever they want. They can make up whoever enemies are inside the prison for us to fight. It doesn't really need much explanation or of a backstory. But like I've said, it's a very complicated situation. I want to know what you guys think about it. Comment down below if you want the old raids to be remake or how you think it would be done. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.